Hey YouTube, you're watching the JR Sig Reviews here, and today is going to be a review on one of the packs that I brought back from America. Again, it wasn't the second pack that I bought, like when I was in New York, but I really wanted to do a review on it because I very much enjoyed the cigarette when I was in New York, and I did smoke quite a few of them, but I've still got quite a few left, which is good. And I'll just get one right out the pack. So, today's review is going to be on these Camel Turkish Royal. Now, I searched quite a few places for this. Not a lot of places had them. I had to actually go to a small convenience store. I can't remember which street that was on. It was on a corner. I think it was somewhere near West 33rd, possibly. I can't remember too much about it, but it was a small convenience store that had these. I went to a place called 7-Eleven. They didn't have them, and I would have expected them to, but they didn't. But anyway, picked them up, and these were about $14.50. So, like what I was saying in my previous video, if you're wanting to search for places that aren't expensive or too expensive for cigarettes, then avoid the small corner shops, convenience stores, because they really are expensive. But anyway, besides price, let's get on to the review. Here we are. Camel Turkish Royal, and I'll get onto the packaging design in a little minute. First I'll get onto the cigarette. So here we are. It's an 85mm king size cigarette here, and as you can see, the filter at the top, the little rim at the top of the filter is quite cool. It's got a blue band around it with some other pattern, and it says Turkish Royal on the paper, which is cool. So anyway, let's get this lit up. And I'm going to use my new Zippo that I got. I didn't actually get it from America, but I got it beforehand. But I didn't want to take it just in case it got seized. I'll show you that quickly. Here we are. It's a cool lighter. Cost me about £31 from the site, but it'll last me a lifetime, hopefully. Right, first draw off the bat, it's very, very nice. It's clean, it's smooth, but it's not as strong as the Camel filter. The Turkish Royals are a lighter version of your Camel filters, but they're still quite strong compared to the cigarettes that you get over here, or in the whole of Europe. I read up on the stats, and this is from a site called Econdata US. I told Johan, if you're watching this, Churchill Cigar, I told you about it through a comment. So that's my correction there. It wasn't Datis, it was Data US. I misspelt it, so apologies for that. But anyway, that's where I get my data from on cigarette tar levels and nicotine levels. So these come in at about 13 milligrams of tar, with about 1 milligram of nicotine and 12 milligrams of carbon monoxide. Is what the site says. So a strong cigarette for here, but almost a medium medium strength cigarette over in America. So they're not as strong as your Camel filters, but they're a lighter version. You also get Turkish Golds, which I've obtained in America, and you also got Turkish Silvers. But I didn't want to pick them up because I would find them probably a bit too light. But anyway, all that detail out of the way, get back onto the cigarette. As you can see, what I was telling you, the first draw off the bat's very nice. It's clean, it's light, but not too light. And you do get that nicotine, with it being 1 milligram of nicotine, which is our EU limit. So it's kind of used to it, really. But you do get a nicotine hit from it, which is good. And it does like to produce a lot of smoke, as with most of the Camel range. And the draw is very nice. The filter is a little bit more squishy than on the Camel filter. I shall show you. It is coming away from the paper a little bit, but not too much. Hardly any blotching on the paper, which is also good. And the good thing about Camels is that they retain the evenness on the burn of the cigarette compared to a lot of your other brands. One being Marlboro, they tend to go a bit high-tailed sometimes if you're drawing on them quite fast, but Camels usually retain their evenness of burn. And it's a clean cigarette, nice flavour to it as well throughout the whole cigarette. Can't taste any chemicals whatsoever, which is good. However, as with all American brands, you'll all know that they all contain FSC now. Fire safety chemicals, fire safe cigarette, what other people like to refer it to. So a lot of people are put off by that, but they've been used to it for quite a few years by now, so there'll be some people that'll be used to it, but you'll still get the people that complain about, you know, the taste being a lot different from what it used to be. And it is, but I can't remember it. So anyway, back onto the cigarette. A nice draw. The burn rate is a little faster than on the Camel filters, but it's still nice. Still a good burn time, I would say, definitely. Let's check the body. So it's a good body, a little better on the Camel filters with the body. The Camel filters are a little bit better body, but it's still a good body for a filter cigarette, which is good. And it's just a normal standard 85, well, what am I going on to the detail of the cigarette for again? It's a king size filter on it because it's a king size cigarette. A nice flavour to them. Very nice. If you are going to New York, or if you're in New York and you haven't tried Turkish Royals, get a pack because they are definitely worth the price. You probably would get them cheaper somewhere else. I did notice after I bought a pack, but I didn't want to buy another one because I hadn't finished the ones that I got first time. But yeah, a very, very decent cigarette. I think the Camel filters, I'm a little bit more on the Camel filter side, purely because they have that little bit more nicotine to them. But I still get a nicotine hit from this, which is very good. And the flavour on this is very nice, as with all Camels. Very nice flavour to them, and they hold the flavour throughout from the first draw right down to the very bottom. So a very consistent cigarette, and it likes to produce a lot of smoke, like what I said. And that's me just about done. Oh yes. So here we are. Get onto the packaging design. Now, as you can see, it's a very clean packaging design. Because it's American, you get the little health warning, Surgeon's General warning there, and it says smoking causes lung cancer, blah blah blah. And you'll see at the bottom here it says FSC with a barcode. And it's got a little essay for me to read at the bottom, and it says Turkish tobacco is the world's smoothest, most aromatic leaf. Turkish Royal blends the finest mellow Turkish leaf with selected domestic tobaccos to offer a richly aromatic cigarette with refined flavour and a distinctly smooth finish. So yeah, it definitely lives up to what it says on the back. And at the front it says rich and mellow taste. So that's true as well. It's a very decent cigarette. So ratings, I have to give it a 10 out of 10 for the flavour. The flavour is really good. It's right there throughout from the first right down to the very bottom of the cigarette. Aroma is very nice. It's a very pleasant aroma. Chemical rating, I can taste no chemicals whatsoever. And the body to it is very nice. So I'd have to give it an overall rating of 10 out of 10. So if you are to pick these up, definitely do so. And if you haven't tried them, definitely give them a try because they are definitely worth it. So that has been my review on Camel Turkish Royals. And until the next review, guys, goodbye YouTube.